I think I've been here before when I was really young. And let's see if the guy that I met who works here is still here after, 17 years. Hi!
Hey there.
I don't know if you remember me, but I do know you.
Help me. Okay. I've met a lot of people over the last 20 years. Take me there.
Okay, so let's go back to 2008. I was here with my family. I was probably like 9 or 10 years old, and I was dressed up as Hannah Montana. And I remember taking a picture.
You were blonde.
Yeah, I was wearing a wig.
Come here, give me a hug. This is how we do it here. Good God. Noogie, noogie, noogie. What is your name again now?
I'm Katie. What was your name?
Michael.
Michael. Okay. I'll have to show you the picture because I have it. It's great.
I gotta see it. I gotta see it because I do remember.
All right. So here's the picture that I have. That's us in 2008.
Oh my, you were my girlfriend that day. Wow, how cool is that?
I don't remember if I sang for you or not.
And you remembered this place. Wow.
Yeah. So I'm here just visiting, and I remember being here when I was a kid, and I just had to stop by and just see if you were still here.
I never know who's coming in here from day to day to day, but this one is really special for sure.
So do you want to catch up on the last 17 years of our lives?
1 year at a time. Let's go do that. I'll give you a quick tour and we can hang out there.
Sounds good.
Katie, welcome back to the gallery for sure. I'm going to kind of give you a quick tour, show you what's happened since you've been gone since 2008. Okay? You were like this tall.
Sounds great.
Here's what I did. I put my stereo from high school.
High school?
High school, 1970s.
Oh my gosh, you're aging yourself.
60 years old, I know. I should stop talking at this point. Big Pioneer box speakers, my Yamaha turntable. This is what we were listening to in high school when I got the idea to do what we're going to go look at right now. So follow me, dear. Think of it this way. We did as much with 1,100 square feet as we could. Our website exceeds 100,000 square feet. The purpose of this gallery really isn't for you or anyone else to walk in here and buy something. That's not the purpose. This is just to give people an idea of what we're up to. There's really nothing going on here, but if someone's never been here, it appears that there's a whole lot of different things going on. And so our approach always from day one is basically, we say we're going to politely ignore you. Enjoy your visit. Have a great visit, have a great trip. Most of the people we meet are traveling. We ship all over the world, and they'll grab a card or they get home wherever in the world they live and they'll remember us and they'll go on their computer. Here it comes. There's lots of videos of people you'll probably recognize that come in here. And then they start looking for their favorite artist. And you're looking at your computer screen, but your brain is going, wait a minute, I was there, I saw that. So the pictures are real, and business happens when it's supposed to. We do not come out here to chase money. That just finds us when it's supposed to. And we get to meet nice people all day. And I think it's fun for us here in the gallery when someone walks in here, if they get it, they get it, and they're not ready for it. It was one of those things that I was always going in this direction, I just never knew it. Mm-hmm. Okay? I came up with this idea, which I can't take complete credit for it. It was 22 years ago. We went to Maui, and we're staying at this big resort, the Grand Wailea. And that morning I walked next door to, it's kind of like a Kierland, the shops at Wailea, okay? Mm-hmm. You've been to Hawaii, you know what I'm talking about. Mm-hmm. And there was a sign on the second level that said celebrity art. I walked in there and I went, you can do this? You know, it had a combination of artwork, some signed albums, some guitars, and a bunch of other things. But it planted, because I had a real job then. I was a marketing director at a big company, and my office looked like this. So everybody would come to my office to have meetings because nothing would get done. We would just sit there and stare at the walls.
Yeah.
But I realized on that trip, wait a minute, you can do something like this? And so I came back and I started putting it together. Found an architect, found a location, and true story, I reached out to a lot of the people that I met within this industry back then, who I've stayed in touch with for years, to basically talk me out of this. Because I had a feeling of certainty it might resonate with quite a few people, you know, but who knows? And so everybody that I reached out to was really beyond supportive. They're like, you got to do this. You really do. Besides, we've got a bunch of stuff that was signed for us that it'll make sense for all of us. And I said, okay, so I did. And which is kind of funny. I have yet to do a business plan. I never have. And I just jumped out of the plane without a parachute, basically is what I did.
Yeah.
And I'll never forget this. And this, if anyone's ever thinking about doing something, here's a lesson I learned. When I got all the contracts to sign to move into this place, it was like this thick. And Katie, I'm looking through them and I recognize that word, and I go a few more pages, there's a word I recognize. Then I realized I have no idea what I'm really reading here. And a lot of people that cared about me when it became real now tried to talk me out of it. They're like, Michael, you have no idea truly what you're doing. You're going to lose a lot when this thing falls apart. And so I let doubt in for about that long. I said, what if they're all right? What if they are? And then I realized this, which I never really thought about. I've never been economically motivated to do anything. Money comes through that door, and I wave to it as it goes out the back door. Money just comes and goes. So you take that out of the equation, that's when I realized I had a moment of clarity right then, and I realized, wait a minute, I will never know what this would have been like, ever. And that's too big. I don't ever want to have to wonder what this would have been like. So at that
like
moment,
if you had listened to somebody else saying don't do it.
Yeah, just, well, most people, if they care about you, they don't, and it's not their fault, they don't have the vision I do. Okay? So at that moment, all of a sudden it became crystal clear. Honest to God, I said, are you kidding me? This is the ultimate opportunity. Okay? Fear, doubt, that's a part of life. I get it. But what's more painful is wondering what it might have been like. So I signed every contract, turned it in, and fast forward 20 years later, we're probably one of the most successful companies in this billion-dollar industry. And I ship globally, worldwide, every single week. And it's one of those things that had I not rolled the dice and just said, I don't want to have to think about this, and did it, I would to this day be wondering what it might have been like, you know? Yeah. And the one thing that, if there's anything that someone out there is thinking about doing, do it, whatever it is, because where did 20 years go? What I'm getting at is this little 4-letter word, life, is going by really fast.
Yeah.
You're what, 26 now, something like that? Good for you. You know, it's just, I'm a little older than you. My son's a few years older than you. And it's, for me, life is going by in 5-year clips now. It's not 1 year at a time anymore. And so if there's any suggestions, advice, whatever you want to call it, for anybody out there, that if you have a dominant thought and you have a feeling of certainty, what's on your mind makes sense, do it.
Yeah.
Because worst case scenario, you're going to learn something. And then that door will lead to another door. And that's what life is. It's a bunch of doors until there's not a door, you know? So my goal in life is to go through as many doors as I can. I have been told by so many people that I've had chats like this with, because I get to meet a lot of nice people, and we'll sit in my back office where we work, and we'll have talk. Life can be a challenge, it really can. You just have to realize it's never ever what happens to us, it's how you choose to deal with that, what happens to us. So It's one of those things where, and I sincerely mean this, I am the luckiest person I know. I really am. This looks like my bedroom in high school. That's my stereo equipment over there from high school.
Yeah.
And the funniest thing, Katie, is this. So many people that grew up with us here in Arizona, grade school, high school, a little bit of college, they come in here and they crack up. They're like, Michael, this is who you've always been. This is who we knew, always. This is, you've never changed. You just took it to another level. And I thought about it, and it totally made sense to me, because I've always had a trajectory going in this direction, and this just created itself.
Yeah.
I just watched it happen.
It's a byproduct of it.
You know?
Yeah. It's a byproduct of who you are, because this is your passion. You're expressing yourself, and you found a way to make money from it to support yourself and your family.
Yeah.
And here you are. Do you think, well, before you even went this route, you decided to get a job in marketing. So this wasn't something that you knew you always wanted to do. It sounds like there was just an opportunity that you wanted to take when the time, when you realized that you could do something with it.
I look at it this way. The day we were in Hawaii and I walked into that place, we weren't even supposed to be there.
Yeah.
You know, it was a fluke situation how we ended up there. So, you know, it's like God had a way of showing me something, okay, showing me my path, okay?
Yeah.
And yeah, I was a marketing director at a big company for a number of years. When you're doing something and you'd rather be doing something else, that's when you have to start paying attention. And I was going through that for a while. I really was.
Yeah.
And when I saw what I saw, I realized, okay, this isn't just a coincidence, okay? There's something more at work going on here, something that's bigger than myself. So I can't ignore this, I really can't. And once I started getting serious about it, started reaching out to different people in the industry and aligning myself with architects and designers and so forth, then it started to get really exciting, because all of a sudden I could envision what I'd been thinking about.
Yeah.
It's
like
really,
the light bulb went off.
Well, it's one of those things where everything just, timing was, it just happened. It really did. And once you get momentum, if you can do it, you know, I look at it this way, and this is true. The most powerful word in the world starts with the letter F, and it is 4 letters, and it's fear. Fear dominates people's lives. Think about it. Fear of losing what you have, not getting what you want, fear of this, fear of this. And you break it down, what the hell is fear? It's something that hasn't even happened yet, but you're going to give it all the power to just keep you in neutral. And it's like, no. Fear is something you run at, not from. Because once you break that down, it gets easier the next time, and the next time. And after a while, you don't think about it. You just do what you want to do. You really do. And I've had these types of conversations with quite a few people over the years, and you'd be amazed at how many people correspond with me when they get back to wherever they are in the world, and all of a sudden they follow their passion. And they're like, you totally inspired me to do this. When you think about it, I didn't know the business side of this. I had the passion part of it, but not the business side of it. And that's okay. I'll never forget when I met with this complex and they asked me for my business plan. I said, it's a really short one. It's passion and ignorance. That's my business plan. And they start cracking up. And they go, no, we need more than that. I go, no. And I'm not signing a personal guarantee either. And they looked at me like, wow, this, you know, who does he think he is?
Yeah.
But because I didn't have any of it. I just had a feeling of certainty that this would resonate with enough people to do it for a little while. Katie, 20 years? Hell no. No. And
it's more than a little while.
Yeah, and I have no plans to stop right now whatsoever, because I look forward to this. The day I wake up and I say I have to go to the gallery today, that's when I need to pay attention, okay?
Yeah.
But to this day, when I get up and I'm getting ready, I'm like, I get to go to the gallery today. I don't know who I'm going to meet. You know, I mean, I haven't seen you in forever, and you found me, you know? And that's what's so cool, because so many people that I've met during this time frame they find their way back here. You took a little longer.
Yeah. I've been on my own travel escapade.
No, and I've been listening to you, and I admire you. I really do. You inspire me.
Thank you.
Because you're doing exactly what you want to do.
Yeah.
But here's the difference between us. You have youth on your side, okay? I would love to be you right now, knowing what I know, you know? But that's not possible, so I am quite content, you know? And I'm quite happy with where my life is right now because I did what I wanted to do. I really did. And you're doing the same thing I did, you know? You're just doing it much younger.
So out of everything that you have in here right now, what is your favorite piece?
The most favorite, my personal piece would be this one. Follow me. Enjoy your visit, dear.
Thank you.
There's a couple of them. I've had this for 30 years, Sgt. Pepper's, signed by the Beatles. Okay.
Another Beatles.
This one up here, Buddy Holly, his debut album, signed by him and the Crickets, his band. I've had that for 30 years.
Do you plan on selling these, or?
Never, never. If something happened to me, my wife would sell them tomorrow. Okay. And then The Day the Music Died, Richie Valens, the Big Bopper, and the Buddy Holly. I've seen 3 Buddy Hollys in probably 40 years. This one's the jewel, Led Zeppelin, In Through the Outdoor, all 6 covers. There were only 13 nights that you could get these signed in 1979. So I've been, that's the one. And if anybody that's watching this knows who Led Zeppelin is, then they will appreciate that. That's me and Jimmy Page at the Grammys in 2005.
Wow.
And I met you 3 years after that, so you were 5 years old when that picture was taken.
Nice.
And here's my wife. We've been together since high school, and that's her with Ronnie Wood of the Rolling Stones.
Nice. Does she like music as much as you do?
I don't think anybody likes music as much as I do. I just don't. I mean, when I was 11 years old, I got my first little record player, and I bought my first vinyl albums, and I started at 11 years old. Listening to records, and just it was my way of taking a trip somewhere without going anywhere, you know?
Yeah.
And that just continued. When I got older, started doing it more.
So what do you think you would have done differently if you had started at my age, like I am, versus at the age that you did? Like if you did have more time or more youth, like what difference would that have made?
I was at, we were at dinner one night, my son, he was like 17 that night. There's a guy who's pretty well known in the industry. His name's Gene Simmons. You ever heard of him? Plays
Vaguely.
in the band Kiss.
Okay.
Gene Simmons, he had his own show and all these other things. We were at dinner one night. He was coming in for his show, and you can watch it on the website or go to YouTube, Rockstar Gallery. You'll see it all. But anyway, we were at dinner. He's a business tycoon. He really is. He is. And he said, Michael, you need more locations. Okay? And I thought about it, and I said, here's why I don't. I said, I own this. Okay? 100%. If I get more locations, it owns me. I'm not interested in that. I'm really not.
Yeah.
I have a great life with what I have created, and I get it. Yes, there would be probably a lot more, it would be economically rewarding to have more locations, but then I don't own it. It owns me.
And you mean
The time required to do all of this, it's like, no. And I think he was surprised. Just because most people would have probably agreed, which I part of me agreed, yeah, that would make sense, but not at this point in my life. If I were your age, I might have taken that advice and had more locations because I have more years to work with to get more people involved so it won't own me.
Yeah.
But at this point in my life, that window's kind of, it's narrow now.
Yeah.
So I thought to myself, no, I have nothing but gratitude. I'm so fortunate that everything has worked out the way it has. And it wasn't by design, it just came together.
Yeah.
You know, and so I wasn't really surprised when one thing after another started falling into place, because I already had it going in that direction. So anyone out there that's thinking about making a change in your life, doing something else with your life, you only get to do this thing once.
Yeah.
You know, you don't want to sit there and look over your shoulder and wonder what it might have been like.
I hear about people who start their business saying, don't get caught up in the how to do it, just focus on the what it is that you want and the vision and the why. And so as someone who's owned my own business now for almost a year and continuing to figure it out, I don't think there's ever a point where we have it completely figured out, right? I think that, you know, I started off in the medical field and all I ever knew was how to do medicine. And that was something that was very unique to its field, but then going and starting a business about health and about life and all these other pieces coming together as an expression of who I am as well. Didn't know much about business development and starting a company and how to make it successful, how to grow. So I had to hire these coaches or other people to kind of teach me and read books, listen to podcasts, and kind of figure it out myself and be this one-woman show. But how did you do it? You mentioned you started in marketing and then you decided to go into business with this music industry. How did you do that? How did you make that transition?
You know, it was effortless. It really was, because my heart wasn't into what I was doing anyway.
Yeah.
I was truly looking for what I really wanted to do. I had no experience in this.
Yeah.
I just had the contacts. Okay? So when a good example would be this. When we built our gallery, my opening night was Grace Slick from Jefferson Airplane with all of her art. And this is a true story. The company that was building the place ran out of materials. The sign wasn't even up out in front. The show's at 8 o'clock on a Saturday night, and they're putting my sign up that day, and they're finishing, the gallery wasn't even completed yet. And we're supposed to have a show. There's a line around the building waiting to get in. The fire department shows up to do their walkthrough to sign off on that I can be in business now. And I'm sitting there going, and the publishers for her were just looking at me like, who does this?
Yeah.
You know?
Messy action.
Yeah, I said, don't worry about it. It'll all work out. And it did.
Yeah.
You know, the fire department signed off on it. We opened the doors. That's how I have managed to survive in this. From day one, everything comes together. And it's not because I'm smart about it. It's just, I thoroughly enjoy the heck out of it. I really do. Yeah. And my goal is to create the ultimate experience for somebody that likes this. And when I can hear somebody over in the corner saying, oh my God, look at this, mission accomplished. When I hear people walking out of here going, what the hell was this? Mission accomplished. It's not about selling stuff, okay? And once you really take that out of the equation, I know that sounds like BS, you know, you need money, you need to sell things to stay in business, but that's not my mindset. I don't come out here to chase money, period. I get to meet nice people all day and business happens when it's supposed to. It sounds like so cliche, blasé bullshit, but
laws of the universe.
It's quite true, it really is. And that takes all the pressure off of me. And everybody that works for me, because that's not why we're here. We're here to create a great experience for somebody, and then they're going to tell somebody else about it. And they're going to, all day people are coming in here, I heard about, someone told me, blah, blah, blah. And that's the way it works. We just keep going in one direction, and we just leave it alone. We really do. We pay attention to it, but we leave it alone. I mean, for 20 years, you've been doing it for 1 year now. Congratulations. No, I'm serious. Because that's how it starts. And all the stuff you don't know about will find you.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you're not going to find it. It will find you. And then next year when I see you, or the year after, or whatever it is, you're going to be totally different. You are. And because you will evolve into doing what you love to do. When we get to do that, that's just like this gallery is an extension of who I am for people that know me.
Right.
It really is. And so you're doing now what you love to do, and it will become an extension of who you are. It's not who you are, it's just an extension of who you are.
Right.
You
You're
know?
infusing your essence, your
Yeah.
personality into it. Like you mentioned, you know, everybody who knew me, they all knew I was going to end up here. They're like, oh, it makes sense as to why, you know, you have the gallery and everything. I feel like the same goes for me with the cooking stuff I do, the health stuff, the making the videos, the talking to people. Like it's in my nature. And I was talking to my mom about this the other day and how ever since I was a little kid, like there was this class called Engage, which was basically just a class. I don't even know what it was for exactly or the description of the class. But you learned about different computer programs and there were different projects that we did. And it's basically to engage your thinking skills and creativity. And so we had a project where we could create anything. And I decided to create a video on how to survive middle school and teach people how to do it. And I was like, what do I want to do? And I had 2 other people in my group and I just kind of took over the whole project and they're like, sure, go ahead. We don't have to do the work then. And I just was like, this is so cool. Like I got to create something. And so what I did is I took different songs from different artists that I liked, and I changed the words from the song. So like, for example, I did the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air theme song. That was the theme song of the little skit. And I changed it to, you know, how to survive middle school. And then the next song was about how to get good grades. And I did the A-Team by Ed Sheeran. And I infused my singing into it. And I changed the lyrics and I recorded the background. And then we got the little music video happening. And then we transfer the footage to us all talking about what our tips are for how to get good grades or how to, you know, make sure you smell good after gym class and like all this stuff. And so I think back to that, I'm like, that's just something I chose to do because I loved to do it. It was fun for me, creating these experiences for people and educating them about something, solving a problem. And so I think what I've learned about business development is that it has to be something that you love. Otherwise, you know, you're doing it for the wrong reasons. And it sounds like you had that passion. That was what was the driving force. It was I love this and I want to provide good experiences for people, and therefore the success, whatever way that looks like, is the byproduct. Okay, so out of all the people that you've met, all the stories that you probably have about many of these pieces of art, what's your favorite?
You know, if I had to pick one story, the story for me, it would be the day I got to meet Jimmy Page of Led Zeppelin.
Okay.
And
that's that guy right here, right?
He was pretty well known. He is the guitar player of Led Zeppelin. And this was at the Grammys in Los Angeles in 2005, January. The only way this were to happen is because I gave this rock photographer his first show in the gallery, and out of gratitude, November of 2004, December, he calls me and said, I can get you into the Grammys next month. And I said, okay, I can make it. So my wife and I fly over. It's the Grand Ballroom at the International Hotel, 100 rock stars for 3 hours. And he walks me in, and he walks me up to the table and introduces me to Jimmy Page. And everybody was there that day because of Led Zeppelin, okay? Jimmy Page gets up, he does the talking at the end of the event. When he finishes and he approaches our table, all the lights come up. Everybody in this ballroom is trying to get to him. 2 big bodyguards come up and grab each one of his arms. He's gone. My wife reaches down and grabs his wrist, and everybody freaks. And he looks, and she goes, Jimmy, can you just take one picture with my husband? And he looks at me, and I looked at him, and I go, just one. He started laughing. He goes, make it quick. A bodyguard backed up. I leaned in. My wife got the shot.
There it is.
Okay. And I didn't realize what type of picture this was going to turn out to be. Jimmy Page had a mentor, a gentleman by the name of Aleister Crowley. Google this, YouTube, Jimmy Page, Aleister Crowley. He was the late 18th century, 19th century occultist. Jimmy was fascinated with the occult, okay? Jimmy bought his house. Jimmy bought everything associated with Aleister Crowley. Now then, we got back to the hotel. I put the chip in, I'm looking at pictures, and I said, oh my God, look what I'm looking at. And it'll make more sense if you look at here. There's my wife, that's John Paul Jones, he's in Led Zeppelin, and there's me. See the lamps? Now if you travel back up here to my picture with Jimmy Page, we cropped in. It looks like flames coming out of my head and it swirls. This guy's face behind us is completely distorted, okay? You can't even make it up. I'm standing next to the guy. So, out of all the backstories and all the people we've met, my entire life, okay, it's a big chunk, this would be the moment that I'm so grateful that happened. I got to meet and talk to Jimmy Page. Success that's a scary word. It really is. Because anybody that's happy with who they are, wherever they're at, in their life, occupation-wise, whatever it is.
Yeah.
If they're happy, they're successful.
Yeah.
Success does not have to equate to economic success. Okay? I know a lot of people that have a whole lot of money and they're miserable.
Yeah.
Okay? If you can not focus on the economic side and just focus on who you are and what you want to do that makes you happy, you are successful. Because most people live their life vicariously through someone else anyway, wishing they could do that. They could, they're just the fear.
Yeah.
They won't.
Yeah.
They could, and they'll always wonder.
Yeah.
But you're successful, you are, and I think your brain might work similar to mine, where subconsciously it's always spinning. There's always things going on that we pay attention to.
Thoughts, yeah.
It's just like, which is so cool, because we're always coming up, we're always reinventing whatever it is. If we're smart enough to pay attention to it, there's something in there all the time that you will hang on to and go, wait a minute, that makes sense. It really does. And I mean, when we first opened our gallery 20 years ago, we had a bunch of different things. We had King Baby and Royal Order jewelry, we had Cousteau clothing, we had a whole bunch of different things to purchase. But as time went on, we realized this is what appeals to the people. We had all this other stuff because it was, in my mind, a part of the industry, the rock jewelry and so forth. But as time went on, I realized, no, simplify it. And when you simplify your passion, then you get to really enjoy it. But by nature, as human beings, we like to complicate things.
Always.
We
for
really
no
do.
reason.
If something's going well, let's try something else. And you're saying to yourself,
See if that works too.
what the hell was I thinking?
Yeah.
But you don't know unless you try.
Yeah.
And I think that's the bottom line. You and I have a lot in common. I wish I was your age, what I know now, if I were to start something like this. I really do. So I'm happy for you. I really am, because you're on first base. Really, you're on first base. I'm on third base. I'm looking at home, so I'm taking my time to get there.
Yeah.
You're on first base. You get to run the field yet.
Yeah.
So it's going to be fun for me to follow you, which I will, and see where you end up from time to time. Because, only you know that.
Future's bright. I think my vision and my dream is so big, I don't know sometimes what to do with it or what the next step is.
So what are some of your favorite pieces that you have on the walls?
Well, this one's quite rare. We just put this in just a couple of days ago. The
Beatles.
Original release, 1969, Beatles Abbey Road.
Wow.
Iconic.
Where do you get all of these?
Walking across the sidewalk. Actually, a gentleman that ran Capitol Records for about 30 years had a couple Beatles albums. He wanted us to sell one for him. So we've been here, in 20 years? I think this is maybe the third Abbey Road I've ever seen in 20 years. So we just took a picture of it, put it on the website 2 days ago. People are already asking about it.
Tell me about what music means to you. Like, what inspired you to want to create a music gallery?
I grew up here in Arizona. I'm a native here, okay? In the 70s, which this industry exploded, it really did. That was the zenith ride for this. I was so fortunate to be only 16 years old when that happened. And here in Arizona at that time, if you wanted to go to a concert back then, if you wanted to go to a concert, it's this one department store here in Scottsdale, and my best friend worked there. He ran the box office, so he would set aside the same 6 front row center aisle seats for me for every show, because every show was at the Arizona Coliseum. We didn't have casinos and all of these outlets like we do now. It was the Coliseum, and because every band was significant. It was a sellout every show. It was totally different, and so we became quite well known in the front row. It was 5 guys and my girlfriend, who's my wife now, we've been together since high school, in the front row for every show. And between the roadies and the bus drivers and the security and the people that work there and the rock stars, the rock photographers, the journalists for the magazines back then, it was Cream, Rolling Stone, Melody Maker, Hit Parade, these were all the rock magazines. Their people would be there, okay? So it wasn't by design, it wasn't planned. We just became a part of it. And so it got to a point where we would show up for a concert, they wouldn't even ask for our tickets. You know, they're in. And then the circle that we became a part of started inviting us over to the LA Forum. That's where the big shows would happen. And so we would travel to LA for 4 or 5 days, catch a couple shows there, same situation. This went on for many, many years. And I was fortunate enough to meet pretty much all the rock stars. I was stoned for years.
Yeah.
Back then
Makes
it was crappy pot and beer, and the industry was excessive, but you could only be so excessive. You know, it wasn't like it is today.
So in a world where we're being encouraged to conform to the societal pressures of expectations and following the crowd and staying in line and all of that, how do you stay true to yourself? How do you stay connected?
The whole world's a mess right now. It really is. Our country it's gone through it. It really has.
Hopefully on the rise, though.
Well, here's the deal. I only pay attention to the things I can actually do something about. Awareness is important. I pay attention to all the noise, but I don't let it in. I know where it's at. It's really simple, because when you break it down, I mean, Katie, there's only so much that we can do with incoming stuff. It really is. You just have to filter it.
Yeah.
You know, you let the stuff in that you can deal with. The other stuff you keep out, because it's always going to be coming. It really is. It's reached a point now. I think that the older we get, the more we let go.
Yeah.
We really do. When you're young, you want it all. You want to be a part of it all. You don't want anything to slip by you. You know, you want to be in front of it all. The older I get, the more I don't really pay attention to it, you know? And when you can get to a point where when you get up every day, you have nothing, you have gratitude. You're grateful for the situation that your life is in right now. Because life is full of surprises. There's a lot of people that woke up this morning that didn't get to where they were going. That wasn't on their things to do today.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
You just pay attention to the things that are the most important. When you can do that, this is a corner you turn that you don't see.
Yeah.
All of a sudden you just realize it's different now.
Yeah.
And when you can, when that finds you, you don't find it. When that finds you, it's a weird surrender, if you want to call it that.
Yeah.
You cruise.
Yeah,
you just sit there and you say, okay,
let it take
this
you.
is the way it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
You know, I don't have to prove anything to anybody. I'm not trying to impress anybody. I'm not trying to, no more wow factors, anything like that. I'm just quite content and happy. I have serenity
Yeah.
where I can enjoy this.
Yeah.
I really can.
The day-to-day.
And if you think about it, had I listened to everybody that didn't see what I saw, I would be wondering to this day, 20 years later, what this might have been like.
Yeah.
And that would be my definition of hell.
Yeah.
It really would, because, you know, opportunity, there's a reason they call it an opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
You can either roll the dice and go for it, or always wonder.
Yeah.
Now, that is something that for anybody out there that watches this young lady's all over the work that she does, that's the one thing that you need to pay attention to. Do not be complacent, and don't ever sit back and wait for something to come to you like that. If you know what's going on up here, you take action and you're going to learn something. It's really simple. We just like to complicate things. That's what we specialize in.
Last question.
Oh.
Or what's one message that you want to share with the world? I mean, you've already shared so much already.
No, it would be the one I've already said more than once. Life is far too short to wonder what something else might have been like. So for those watching us right now, they just heard what I said. And right now, and they know who they are, they're thinking to themselves, shit, he's right.
Yeah.
I've been thinking about whatever it is for a long time. Maybe it's time to stop thinking about it.
Yeah.
And maybe take action and do something.
Yeah.
And that's just it. I think the worst thing that someone can do is stay in a situation that they're not happy.
Yeah.
It's not fulfilling, it's not rewarding,
Yeah.
and they don't feel successful, whatever that word means. You know, when
it could be any category in your life. Career, relationship, health, anything.
No, it's a big word. You know, but it encompasses so many different things. And with life, there's levels.
Yeah.
You know, and you prioritize family, health, business, you know, whatever it is, only it's different for everybody. It really is, you know. But once someone can be honest with themselves about who they are and what they really want to do, nothing's going to change, not one thing. And they'll keep wondering, why in the heck am I still in this situation? We are masters at bullshitting ourselves.
Oh yeah.
We are. We are. We have mastered it. Because if we have a comfort zone, we like to stay in that comfort zone. There's a reason for that, because it's very comfortable.
Yeah.
No, it's once you step out of that comfort zone, that's when things change. You know? And it can be fun. It can be rewarding. It can be exciting. It can be all those things. You just have to do it. It's not that hard.
No.
I mean, you're doing what you love to do right now. I've been doing what I truly love to do for 20 years now. I have no plans to deviate, change, stop, because I enjoy it.
Yeah.
You know?
True words of wisdom here.
Quite profound.
Well, Michael, it's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Man.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing your space with us and your story.
Thank you for finding me. Again.
You're welcome.
No,
Finding you again.
She walks in here, we picture when she's Hannah Montana.
Oh, yeah. Should we do some songs?
Bring it on. Next. Whatever you want to do. This place is yours today. You can do whatever you want.
Thank you. I feel like a true rock star. If you're watching this and you're enjoying this, make sure you subscribe to the channel so you can continue to stay up to date with all the fun things that are happening and all the people that I get to meet and graciously learn from.
Pay attention to her. She's going in the right direction. She really is.
Thank you.
And she's very professional. She takes it serious. This isn't just something that,
No.
you know, that I think I'll do this today. No,
It's a
she
little bit
pays
of that.
attention. No, you pay attention, you do.
I did. There's a little bit of method to the madness. So if people wanted to learn more about what you've got going on, maybe they want to buy a piece of the art here, where do they find you?
We are in North Scottsdale. It's called the Kierland Commons. It's a big tourist area here. It's pretty well known globally. Our website is pretty easy, rockstargallery.net or .com. We have both domains. If you're planning a trip to the West Coast, California, Las Vegas or something, we're pretty close to both. We've become a destination here. We have clients, I call them collectors, friends, what have you. UK, Australia, they come out here every couple years just to come visit. It's one of those things where if you like music, you'll be glad that you did. Not to buy something, just to see. That's what it's all about, just to experience it. So I encourage you, if you ever come to Arizona, look us up. You know, and if you can't make it here, jump on the website. There's lots of videos. We videotape all of our events, and you might recognize some of the people that come in here.
Yeah, I'll put all the information in the description below. All right, thank you.